Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, karibuni sana, karibuni sana, karibuni sana. Ai, niko na furaha leo, niko na furaha sana. Si ati Harambee Stars peke yake, but I am so happy. I'm so glad to be here. Leo ni Sunday, jamani, ni Sunday. Harambee Stars imeshinda bao moja. Mtungi imechapa timu ya Congo. So karibuni sana, karibuni sana, karibuni sana. I've been drinking coffee, so that's why mnaona niko na makelele, niko na inaitwaje? Ujeuri. But karibuni sana, karibuni sana, karibuni sana. Guys, hebu niangalie vitu. Let me just make sure everything is in place. Naona Gypsy Corner is already posted. Ako hapo. Hey, Gypsy Corner mwenyewe. Mpaka utu shout out Gypsy Corner hapo, nambari 1. Ananiambia vitu hapo, hebu nisome. Anyway, very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends. Thank you. I had to take that sip of coffee. All right. Let's see. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades, my name is Kenya Revolution. Karibuni sana. We are going to see. Why is this thing noisy? We shall interrogate this question. Who would want James Orengo gone, unalived, akufe? Nani anataka kumuua? It is rumored that James Orengo is being treated for poisoning. Hiyo poisoning sijui ilifanyika State House ama ilifanyika wapi? Sijui kama ilikuwa inafanyika kwa meeting fulani, alipewa maji ama drink. Unajua inasemekana James Orengo is known to be a raging alcoholic. So it's easy to really get those people, someone like that, poison, because akishalewa hivi hata ukimpatia ka shot hivi nafikiri anakunywa shot, kumbe kitu alishaekewa G hapo. But we'll explore to see what kind of political enemies that James Orengo may have. Is it within ODM, outside ODM, or where is it? Or since is he eligible to run for the next gubernatorial race, the coming 2027? We're about to find out anyway. But we have to first start with the formalities. Karibuni sana. If this is your first time in this channel, my name is Kenya Revolution. I talk about Kenyan politics and world politics as it relates to Kenya. So go ahead and quickly subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe again. Okay? Now wake a like. Now share this video in your WhatsApp group, zile mnaongeanga maneno politics. Na mni-invite na mimi pia niende nikuja nipige makelele huko, okay? So do that. And if you've already subscribed like Gypsy Corner, my friend, please go ahead. And you know the first order of business. Endelea, weka like hapo. Hata kabla hujaangalia video is about what? Even if the video is dissing you, weka like mara moja. Asanteni. Let me read this. Namona pretty group ameingia. Let's see what's happening. Now, hey, Gypsy Corner is telling me the first comment, which is very interesting. Anasema hivi, I won't look far beyond the two devil worshippers. Okay. Yes, the two devils. You know what's funny? There's more than two devil worshippers in this political arena. Ukiangalia hizo ma signs and their history, na vile watu kufa hapo karibu na familia yao na the relatives, utaangalia hivi utasema, it's just more than one, ndugu yangu. But that's a good observation. Then, thank you so much for liking the video. Now, let's see. Hapa pia Gypsy Corner anasema Orengo's deputy is also a critical being. What? Hold on. Wait a minute. I didn't know this. Gypsy, please help me with this. Orengo's deputy is also critical being treated in states due to poisoning effect. I wish them both well. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hii syllabus inakimbia sana. Gypsy Corner, please. This syllabus is too fast. You mean the ninio? Ata the ninio? You mean ninio the deputy pia amegonjeka? Ata pia alifanyiwa hiyo kitu, he's in hospital? Because I only thought it was just James Orengo, because James Orengo hajaonekana for a while. Now, I would understand why they would go for the deputy, because kumbuka, the deputy governor of Siaya, where Orengo is the governor, okay? He's the one who was exposing the corruption that was happening. And actually he was, you remember, walijaribu kumpeach, then hiyo kesi, the votes, he was defended by, walienda kuvote hapo Senate, lakini Senate ikamlinio. Walisema, walivote to keep him. Well, basically. So if there was any motivation or someone who wants anybody dead, if there was somebody who's to be targeted for this poisoning, it would be the deputy, because the deputy, ndio alianza, he was the whistleblower who blew the whistle on this, the corruption that was happening at the impressed accounts in Siaya County. You remember that? He's the one who came out and spoke. He made his news round, and he was very consistent. He was very, very educated, well-spoken. He looks like someone who has, he's a reasonable guy, okay? Si mtu ambaye anaweza kuropoko na maneno ati hapa ati James Orengo anakula pesa. And he was not even pointing a finger at James Orengo. What he was saying at the time was that he brought the issue to James Orengo, and the county's accountant, I think his name is Jack Odinga or something. I don't know if he's related to Odinga, but I won't be surprised. Okay, he brought the issue, and he was surprised that there was no serious action that was being taken. So he actually akaendelea akapeleka maneno kwa EACC, because he was thinking, if the EACC or if the Auditor General does the auditing of Siaya County, they will find that money imepotea hapa. Na money kama imepotea, who will be the first one to be asked? Orengo, then him. So he wanted to clear his name out, but he was bringing this to the attention of James Orengo, and he was surprised beyond nature that James Orengo was not, it reached a point where James Orengo was not even talking to him, okay? Instead, the MCAs who are aligned to James Orengo and Jack Odinga, or whatever the case is, what's that, Oburu, they ran to try to impeach this guy, na hiyo maneno ikaenda mpaka kwa Senate, though lakini the truth prevailed. The guy wasn't So if there was anybody who was to be targeted to be killed, it will be probably the deputy president for actually blowing the whistle on the corruption that was happening in the county of Siaya, exposing James Orengo and others who are looting the county dry. Ilikuwa inasemekana hata Masewa walikuwa wanatoa 900 million a week. Sasa hizo zilikuwa zinaenda wapi? Probably to Raila Odinga and his brother. I'm just saying, I'm speculating. This is I don't have no evidence. I'm just saying, okay? So who would want these two dead? Haya. Hey, ati no one is safe. Hey, ni kweli, no one is safe. Nakwambia ukiwa kwa siasa, you have to play your cards right. Especially if you're going to stick to the truth. Okay? So nani Egyptian ananiambia, yes, two of them. And they were secretly replaced. Hii ndio maneno yanaendelea hapa. Me, I didn't even know this one. Kumbe ni hivyo. So jamaa, what's his name? Somebody help me with the name of the deputy president of Siaya. I will Google it right now. Unajua Google is my best friend. Wacha nijaribu. Deputy, I know, I remember him. Deputy governor of Siaya County. Siaya County. Okay? Kenya. Haya, tuangalie jina yake. I remember his name. His name is William Oduwol. William Oduwol. Unakumbuka William Oduwol? William Oduwol. Yes, that's his name. William Oduwol. Yes, William Oduwol. Mnamkumbuka? Senate says, wacha niwakumbushe kidogo. They tried to take him out as far as like remove him when you expose the corruption that was happening in Siaya. So who would want Orengo? Ama, listen to me very carefully. Now we have to come up with theories, and I'm one of them who is going to come out with the first theory. Ama, the real target was Oduwol, but Orengo is the decoy, pretending that he was also poisoned. Could it be? Now, Liza. Mimi sijui, sisemi ati nimejua. I'm just asking. Kwa sababu I don't see the reason why they will go for Orengo. Let me help you with Oduol, because amjui Oduol ni nani. Oduol walikuwa wanataka kutoa Oduol. Tuendelee. Let me just help you guys. Jamani, tafadhali wekeni like hapo na muninio, mweke like hapo na ndio watu wapate ninio ndio wajue. Help me discuss this maneno. Hii ni maneno, hey, this is tough manio. Hii ni mambo moto hapa. How can a deputy governor and a governor wamenda hosi wawili? Where is Orengo? Is Orengo also in the US ameenda kunyo matibabu? I understand Oduol, I think, has a history in I think he was working for, is it World Bank or one of them, somewhere. So he lived in the US for a while. So maybe, but let's see what's happening here.
William Oduol can rest easy tonight after he survived an impeachment following an overwhelming vote by the Senate. A majority of senators voted against a report by an 11-member special committee that had recommended his removal from office on charges leveled against him by the Siaya County Assembly. The voting pattern reflected the House's political makeup, with Kenya Kwanza senators, who are the majority, voting against his removal from office. Ayub Abdikadir has more.
Now, a sigh of relief for Oduol as the Senate Speaker Amason Kingi read the final results of the impeachment vote.
The Senate has failed to remove from office by impeachment Honorable William Oduol, the Deputy Governor of Siaya County.
But it was not a smooth sail for the Deputy Governor. The 11-member Senate Special Committee had returned a unanimous verdict and substantiated both charges leveled against him. According to the report tabled by Elgeyo Marakwet County Senator William Kisang, the committee said the charge against the deputy governor on gross violation of the Constitution and other laws, on allegation of interference with the procurement process through acts of bid rigging, had been substantiated. It added that the charge against the deputy governor on abuse of office and gross misconduct on the allegation of misleading the public by giving false information had also been substantiated. However, political fault lines overshadowed the report following its tabling, with Kenya Kwanza and Azimio senators engaging in heated debate.
These two indictments are on very serious grounds, Mr. Speaker, of violation of the Constitution and the law. That in fact the governor himself, and I can tell that some senators who have spoken before me have not read this document. In this particular document, Mr. Speaker, there is an admission by the deputy governor himself. And those of you who know the law, they know the weight of an admission of an accused person is heavy.
This House has been sitting here discussing important motions, important issues, having the CSs coming here to discuss matters of national importance. But the minority move out or always go out of the House. They are now here, Mr. Speaker, just to kick out somebody because somebody said a certain county secretary was forced to resign.
Youth of Siaya to get opportunity to do business with the county government of Siaya. Where does he want the women of Siaya to get opportunities of doing business with counties, Mr. Speaker? You cannot, Mr. Speaker, allow such a deputy governor to continue occupying office, Mr. Speaker.
Of Siaya to run his office and making sure that the deputy governor of Siaya enjoys his constitutional right. We cannot make that decision on reports that could be either opaque, inaccurate, or deliberately written so as to confuse debate, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Before the report was subjected to vote, Speaker Kingi gave Oduol a chance to make his final submission.
His deputy, then we can throw him under the gallows. No. And the law is very clear. Submissions have been made before the committee, in this House, and even in the Supreme Court, in the case of Mike Mbuvi Sonko, highlight the most recent case in the Supreme Court. They set out a threshold of impeachment.
But after the House Speaker Amason Kingi subjected the findings of the report to vote, a majority of the senators voted against the report by the committee.
And that the deputy governor accordingly continues to hold office.
The Senate and Article 96(1) of the Constitution represents the counties and serves to protect the interests of the counties and their governments. Ayub Abdikadir, Citizen TV.
There you have it. That was the impeachment process that the Senate, it was brought to the Senate to impeach Oduol. If you remember, Oduol was the one who was a whistleblower and he was appalled. First of all, let me just put a message out there. Does any one of you know where Oduol? I understand from what I'm gathering on the chat that he's in the US. I don't know what state, what new, but probably, you know, he's not going to, or his family members will not disclose that information for security reasons. You know, maybe wale watu walikuwa wanataka kumaliza, they want to find out what hospital he is, so wamalize. But Oduol, William Oduol, I think you are a stand-up guy and you deserve to a pat on your back as someone who stood up for the right of the people of Siaya. Now, one thing I want to say that after that impeachment motion, you know, he went very quiet. No one really heard anything about him. But I want to say this. Oduol, if you're going to watch this accidentally, maybe your relative, your friend, Gypsy Corner, or whoever, Practical Power, knows you personally and sends you this video, reach out to me. Because Githeri Media will not give you any time of the day to tell you a story. Reach out to me. Hapa mimi niko nimejipanga. If it's Farouk who wants to take you out, mimi niko na bunduki kubwa kushinda kichwa ya Farouk. Naweza nikamrarua nipeleke Zion. Kama ni Raila ndiye anataka kukutoa, kuja hapa, I will help you. Hatuogopi mtu. Tuko ready. We are real revolutionary. Si wale watu ati wanapiga makelele hapo sijui wakina Kassim sijui nini. No. Hapa tutasema ukweli. So William Oduol, if you're going to watch this, and I want you people to tag him on X, na Twitter, na Facebook. Mumuonyeshe hii video. Let him get into contact with me. I want to listen to him. I want to interview him. I want to visit him. I want to condole with what hajakufa. So let me not say ninio. Condole because hajakufa. Tukupatie moral support. Because this could be, I don't, listen to me. Wacha nikunywe kahawa. Because you know mnacheza na maisha yangu. Mnacheza na maisha. Shimaya Hussein, I see Shima, I don't know how to say your name, so unisame. Shima Hussein, okay, say, sure, after State House visit, Orengo gone missing, Oduol also was up, Siaya people are mad, broad-based. Hey, wacha nikunywe kahawa. Mimi sikunywangi ile tea ninio. Unajua, Siaya County, unajua alikuwa nasemekana, let me tell you. And this is now, I'm entering into the realm of rumor mongering. So, munisame. Lakini, you know, wherever there's a rumor, there's always some truth in a rumor. Unajua? Ukisikia ati nani, ukisikia ati Kenya Rebel ni mrasta. You know, that means akona maybe nywele mingi, ama anavuta bangi, or there's something about it. So, what I want to say is this, that Siaya County is a very, very dominated county as far as the administrative part of it is dominated by the Odingas. I believe Oburu is the senator there. Is he Oburu Odinga? Let me confirm. Let me not say it. Oburu ni senator wapi? Oburu Odinga. Senator of where? Someone tell me where Oburu is. Oburu? Someone tell me Oburu? Siaya County. Yes, Siaya County. Oburu is Siaya County. Now, listen to me very carefully. Nataka mnisikie vizuri. Mimi nataka kubreak hii case. Hii case nitaifafanua. Oduol, if you're listening to me, whether you are in Baltimore, where Matiang'i likes going, whether you are in California, where Gachagua likes hiding, whether you are in Boston, where Kenyatta likes going, and I saw Ledama is in Boston, whether you are in New York, whether you are in New Hampshire, tafadhali, Oduol, please get into contact with me. Mimi niko sawa. Hawa watu wakileta mchezo hapa, tutawapeleka Zayun. But what I'm trying to say is this, Oduol, with all seriousness, please, if you watch this video and you would like to tell your story about what happens, you don't have to implicate anyone, but you can come here and just explain, give us your view of what transpired, how you ended up in a hospital somewhere in the US, under what circumstances did you find yourself feeling ill to a point where you needed serious medical attention? Like, again, I say, this is Kenya Revolution. You can come here and explain. Tutakupatia platform uzungumze hata 3 hours. Wachana na hata ile ya Omosh 1 hour. Hapa utapewa 10 hours uongee. Hiyo siku hata nitashinda ile channel ya wengine ambao wanaendanga 15 hours. Hiyo siku nitafungua hata siku 2 mfululizo without full stop. Ni however tu na unaendelea. However na unaendelea. Unasema tu however na unaendelea. Hakuna full stop. Anyway, Shamaya is here. Shamaya pia anatuambia hapa ati I'm told most of Siaya people don't embrace the Odinga family. Even the votes here mostly who are rigged. Of course, yes, I've heard that a lot. Not only Siaya, Homa Bay, where's this place? Who are very anti-ODM. Okay, Homa Bay, not Homa Bay, and pale nani alitoka. Huyu jamaa ambao was accused of walikuwa nasema ati aliua one of the dem flani, I don't know what her name is. Not Rongo. What's his name? Migori. Yeah, Migori. Unajua hiyo siasa ya huko pia ni kuanga very complicated, Very, very complicated. Paka dissect vizuri. But anyway, the point I'm driving at is this. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the topic is who would want James Orengo gone? Now, yes, Migori. Thank you, Shamaya Hussein. The reason why I asked this, I'm asking because Orengo has always been, very close to the Odingas as far as political speaking. Of course, there's some years back when he kind of went against the Odingas and he lost the seat. Akaka, in the political Siberia for a minute. Then aka rekindle his friendship with Raila. Then he went back to the Akarudi kwa MP or governor or whatever the case is, and he's been relevant ever since. Like, we know the deal. Like in Nyanza province, ODM terrorist group, you have to kiss Raila's ass crack in order to get any kind of position. So what I'm saying is this. Why would someone go for Orengo? Did Orengo differ with the ODM lakeside mafioso? Ayatondo Poda. When I say Ayatondo Poda, I mean the Ayatollah of Poda. The mechanic mwenyewe, welder mwenyewe. Agwambo Tiringenyi Conman 2025. The headmaster of intergenerational conclave. Chwareda. Kidikibudi. Did they differ on something? To a point where somebody maybe said, you know what, Orengo, because there was a time when Orengo, in fact, let me just bring it back. I'm not Sisemi ati Raila is behind this. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Raila is behind this poison. Please get me right. Bakani, with all fairness, even if we clown Raila Odinga for his conmanship that has been going on since he landed in Kenya, okay? We have to be fair. But I'm saying this. This is what I'm saying. Remember when we started hearing the murmurings and the groanings among some quarters within ODM about this blood-based, broad-based government with Ruto, James Agre Orengo mwenyewe, Wodugenya, was very vocal against it because James Orengo is a governor and is a lawyer. And once in a while when he's sober, when he has the, Jack Daniels America Chini, he speaks very much sense and he speaks his mind. I remember mnakumbuka ile ninio was it whose funeral was that? Somebody's funeral huko Nyanza. What was it? I think it was Raila's bodyguard or something. One of the people, people die every day, but it was one of those. Yeah, I will even implicate Martha Karua. Don't worry, I'm coming to Martha Karua. I have to mention that evil woman so I can feel better about myself. Martha Karua is also, yeah. You know the drill, okay? But anyway, yes, Shemaiah, yes, Shemaiah. Is it Shemaiah? I hope I'm saying your name right. Shemaiah, yeah. Orengo was against broad-based. You see, Shemaiah Hussein is on point. She gets it. Orengo was one of those who are overtly, brazenly, outrightly not supporting this broad-based government. And Oburu, by the way, Oburu is going to celebrate his 255th birthday. The youth leader, the number one Gen Z in the Nyanza province, Oburu Odinga. Anyway, Oburu came out and really gave a scathing remark on on Orengo, okay? So, if I was to follow the events leading up to what possibly happened, I don't know if they were poison or something happened, but that's the kind of news you're getting. The streets is talking. The streets is doing what? It's talking. And they're saying that Orengo, along with his deputy, walimwagiwa jik kwa pombe. That is what they're saying. I don't know. Missy Jui. That's why I'm saying, Oduwol William, please, if you see this, reach out to me. Oduwol mimi niko sawa. Niko sawa. Tuko na Navy SEALs training hapa. Tangu hao watu wanijaribu walinifuatafuata hapo hata wakaniingia kwa nini. Tumeweka vitu hapa. Hata serikali hapa wamejua nini inaendelea. Wakijaribu, license tumepewa ya kuwapeleka Zion. Anyway, with all seriousness, let's get to it. Oduwol, if you see this and you want to, a platform where you want to express yourself, please do not fear, do not hesitate, come through to Onge. But yes, what I'm trying to say is this. Could it be that Orengo was engineering a revolt within the ODM terrorist organization? Because I told you, ODM is a terrorist organization. But waking up Gabriel. Who is Gabriel? Nani. What's his name? Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about a politician, but yeah. Yeah, you guys did hear how Oburu talked about Sifuna in front of Raila. These people are... Yes! That is called the Odinga inaitwaje? The Odinga crime family, where Raila Ayatondo Poda is the crime boss with his deputy, his brother, Oburu. Okay? So, but what I'm trying to explore here is who could it be? Now, like I said, Oduwol, I can understand why somebody wanted to take out Oduwol. Could it be that Oduwol was the real target, but Orengo was inaitwaje, whatever damage, inaitwanga aje, whatever damage, ile ya kando, damage ya kando, ile ukitupa bomb hapa na una target kanisa lakini ikiua ikiua watu kwa msikiti, what's the word? Unajua sui hata kizungu leo imenipotelea. Hii kitu ya kukuja na meli hii. Yeah? Mnaelewa? Now, that's why I'm saying I want to be careful not to implicate or imply or insinuate in any shape or form that the Odingas are behind this. No. We'll be very careful here. Sitaki lawsuit. Sina pesa ya kulipa mtu akinipeleka kwa kotini. But we have to be fair. Why I'm saying Oduwol might be the main target is because Oduwol, we understand, he rattled a couple of feathers in Siaya County when he exposed the kind of corruption that runs deep into this county of Siaya. Munaelewa? Collateral damage. Hey, thank you so much, Maya. Naona ulisoma Kisungu. Mimi Kisungu yangu iliisha hapo class 7 kama Raya Raila. Nilipiga mwalimu na mawe nikawacha shule. School fees pia ilikuwa shida. It is not easy growing up in Barogwal Primary School. But let us go on. Let us look at this. What could be the reason why Orengo? Because like I said, Orengo has always been, he understood the game. Ati Kenya, wacha tuangalie hii nini tutakuja. Yeah, nakuja kwa hiyo comment. Orengo understood the game. He understood that in order to stay relevant, he has to stick with Raila. But Orengo, I think naturally, being a lawyer, of course, I'm pretty sure he has his hand dirty. Maybe hata yeye pia mkono yake ilikuwa kwa hiyo cookie jar ya impressed account ya Siaya County. He must have known. I mean, there's no way if the deputy governor knows that kuna corruption hapa na deals flani na pesa inatolewa 900 million a week. There's no way that Orengo didn't know about it. Okay? So he probably knows. But I think Orengo ilimfika pahali ambayo alisema enough is enough. Because I think, is this Orengo's last term as a governor? Is it? Aliingia ugavana lini? Ebu, somebody help me. This was his last term. Unajua kiwa last time, so he can say, forget it, I don't care. Mkiniua ni uwe, mimi pia nimechoka na nyinyi. I'm tired with this Odinga crime family, with the crime boss being Raila Odinga and Oburu. So maybe aliamua ati akasema, you know what, kama mbaya ni mbaya. Because like I said, like Shaima Hussein amenikumbusha, I told you, Orengo was not a fan of this broad base. And even he was the one among the senior members who was standing up with Sifuna. Vile walianza kusema hii maneno ya broad base inawapeleka mahali pabaya. Uongo ukweli. Uongo ama ni ukweli. Ni ukweli na aspro. He was one of them. So Orengo seemed to be getting off the rail. Orengo ni kama. Yeah? His conscience was eating him up as he was withdrawing money from the CIA impressed account that it is said that was being used for things that were not budgeted for. So Orengo, it's either Orengo was becoming a renegade, revolting against the ODM hierarchy, bosses, huko juu, wakina Mbadi, Junet, known criminals, buffoons. Shaima, nimeipata, Shaima. Yeah? So it is possible that maybe Orengo, those are the two possibilities. These are two possibilities. Let me start again. The two possibilities are this. Mina iangalia hivi. The only reason somebody will want Orengo gone is because Orengo, if you're following, Orengo was very, very, very vocal against the blood-based government. And Orengo is a voice that you have to respect because Orengo, like him or not, corrupt or not, he's coming from that era ya kina Raila. Ile wale watu ambao walikuwa wanapiga moyo huko zinio. Yes, he has, been involved in some, vile nimesema, he might he's not very clean, okay? Because as a governor, if the money was being taken up from the impress account, he must have known something, okay? But nevertheless, I'm saying this. Maybe the fact that Orengo was speaking publicly against the broad base, that will alienate a section, a huge section of Luo Nyanza followers who cannot, will embolden them to come out or encourage them to come out and say that they do not support this broad base. And remember, Raila and these minions of his that have joined government, joined Ruto's administration, they are very much pro this arrangement of broad base, not because it will be fruitful and helpful to the Kenyan people. It is because it will fatten their pockets. I told you, Mbadi was on Ruto's administration for 1 month. Mbadi amenona. In fact, if you compare Mbadi and Atwoli looks skinny. Atwoli looks like Atwoli is on Ozempic. Mbadi siku hizi hata macho imefanya mafuta. Mbadi alikuwa ameparara. Vile alikuwa anasema skanka hapo kwa nini ulimwona vizuri. Mbadi alikuwa ameparara. Hata mafuta Solea hana Vaseline. Mbadi ameingia kwa serikali pale kuna pesa hapo ya blood base. Mbadi looks like Atwoli. In fact, Atwoli looks skinny. If you see Mbadi and Atwoli standing side by side, you'll think Mbadi is Atwoli and Atwoli is Mbadi. Mbadi ukiangalia suit yake imekuwa tight. What I'm trying to say is this. Orengo being an influential member of the ODM hierarchical order, okay? And someone who's been looked at as a highly educated individual, okay? Unajua Raila Odinga amependwa tu kwa sababu he's Odinga's son, that's number one. Number two, kuna ile story yake ya urongo na ukweli ati sijui alipigania uhuru Kenya. He was detained 9 years and he defied Moi na aliwekwa hapo sijui detention 9 years, which we can't even verify. Okay, so people they believe that myth, so they think he's that great person. But finally, macho ya watu inafunguka to see that this man is a con man. Tiringenye. Aguambo mwenyewe. Chuor Eda. Okay? So the young, because the demographic, ndio maana unaona, let me explain to you something. Wacha niwa explainie kitu leo, ndio mwelewe. Do you know why Raila Odinga wants this intergenerational conclave? Intergeneration means different generation having a conversation. The generation ya kina Raila Odinga na generation ya Gen Z na hao sijui ndio nini ambao wanafuatilia Gen Z. Raila wants to poison their minds. Because these young folks are growing up na wanaona hii conmanship in real time. Unajua in the 90s and 80s, hata conmanship ikiendelea tulikuwa tusikii, hatuwezi kuelewa kwa sababu we were depending on Nation, Standard, Taifa Leo na KBC channel moja ikituambia Raila ameungana na rais. Na Raila nakuja anatuambia mimi nimepanga vitu na Moi, sasa tuko sawa. And we believed it. Anakuja anatuambia sasa msikuwe na wasiwasi. Lakini this generation, the information age, everything is at your fingertips. Raila akisema conclave, kuna mtu anasema no. And they debate hapo in real time on X. Tunamkumbusha what he said 6 months ago. The internet is undefeated. Tunamwambia NADCO will fail, BBI will fail. What makes you think conclave will be successful? Raila wants this conclave. Listen, I'm not trying to make this about Raila, but I'm just giving you some new. Why shall Raila worry about this conclave intergenerational nonsense? Raila is 265 years old. Ako karibu kuaga dunia. Why should he worry about this? Because he's grooming his son. Listen, I believe Kasmuel is Raila's son. Wachukue DNA. I'm willing. Mimi to bet Kasmuel, if you're listening, nitakupatia $1,000, $100, $1,000. Kama wewe si mtoto wa Raila, nitakupatia $1,000, $1,000 kwa mkono. Kasmuel is either Raila's grandson or Raila's son. Waangalie vile wanatembea, the way they are built, mkono yao, height, macho, mdomo, go look at it. DNA, nataka kuangalia DNA ya Raila na nani na Kasmuel. You saw him the way they were entering Kasarani. Mimi si wadanganyi. But anyway, let's not lose focus here. 6,000 shillings, so mimi nipatie tu 5,000 hapo na nikishindwa bet. Okay? So mnasikia? So what I'm trying to say is this. The hierarchy, the bigwigs in ODM, they want broad base because they are the ones who are receiving ile check ya Ruto. And these people are not breaking down that loot. Hiyo pesa, hiyo mhongo ambao wamepewa na Ruto. They are not sharing it to the wale watu wako chini kwa ground kama wakina Sifuna. They are not sharing it. Okay? I mean, a case in example, case in point. So unakumbuka vile tulisikia Junet alikimbia na pesa ya ninio, pesa ya agents. Junet alipewa pesa aende akalipe agents. What did Junet do? Alienda kajenga nayo nyumba mpya. Or whatever the case he did with it. I don't know. Alienda kutafuta nayo malaya huko Dubai. You see what I'm saying? So these guys do not want to share. Wanataka wakule tu huko juu. Ndio maana unaona there's a rift within this terrorist organization called ODM. Now, if Orengo, who is an influential member of the party, who's respected, okay, who have a history of fighting for multi-party democracy, that one we cannot take away from him, even though he lost his way by sticking with Raila in ODM and all these nonsense, and with the impressed account that they were looting there, Siaya County. For him to start speaking against this broad base, yes, broad base, that is threatening the cash cow of these bigwigs in ODM, because that can shift the minds, influence the views of wananchi of Siaya and Luo Nyanza in general, who are a bit iffy about the whole broad base in the first place. Because we saw that Luo festival where they were screaming one time. People do not support the Odinga family. I'm not saying that the Odinga family are on trial here, but let's face it, let's call it a spade a spade. ODM is a personal business for the Odinga family, Raila Odinga. Again, I'm not saying that he's behind the poisoning. I'm not. I'm just thinking loudly, what possibly could be the person, the motivation behind poisoning James Aggrey Orengo and his deputy. Now, I told you, I can understand why they would try to maliza the deputy, because the deputy brought a national attention, limelight, ali whistleblow, exposed the corruption that was happening in Siaya, which implicated a lot of people, including Raila, because it was Jacob Odinga, I think, who was the accountant of the state, of the county, who's related to Raila. I think is the cousin of Raila or something like that, who was supposed to be signing those checks from the impressed account. 900 million was being withdrawn a week. Now they were claiming they didn't have answers. They were very anonymous. Wakaanza kunyamaza, and they started distancing themselves from Oduol William. William Oduol tried to talk to Orengo Aggrey. Yeah? So I can understand why they would want to take out Oduol. If it's Oduol, I can conclusively say that if I'm an investigator working in Siaya County, the first person I will look at are these people, Jack Odinga, Oburu, even Orengo himself, these Junet characters, Those are the people that will be, I will look at them, interview them, write down what they say, look at their bank account, subpoena everything. Unasikia? So Oduol, if you have a chance to watch this video, please Oduol, reach out to me. You'll be very safe. I'm telling you. Usijali. Tutakutana mahali. Niko na ile simu mimi na Putin na Trump tunaongeanga hapo. Ile si ile wame corrupt hapa wanaangalia vitu wanafikiri ati wamejua kila kitu ambao naendelea hapa hivi. Hakuna. Tukuna ile secret ile. Tukuweke interview hapo utueleze kinagaubaga what happened. But I'm very, very, very surprised and appalled, shocked, perturbed that actually Oduol was also it kind of shook me. That's why. Okay, the second part, the second reason, the second possibility that might have transpired here is okay, the second is this one, and I've kind of touched on it. Okay, let me see this. This broad-based will mess many people. Did you hear that Caleb Hamisi said today some people were following him with the motorbike? I didn't listen to his whole speech. I just heard that he was also basically backing Sifuna, saying that ODM ikisupport broad-based. I mean, wakisupport Ruto 20 hata pia ataishia. I didn't hear that part. So wow. So you see. Let me. Hey, the comment is very interesting. Comment is very interesting. But let me say this something. The second one, I kind of mentioned it. Let me help you with this. The second one, and these are all theories. Nothing here as I do not have evidence. I'm just giving you my theory as a political pundit, armchair expert. Okay, so don't worry. So msinikujia hata mkinikujia mimi hey, where? But I can always defend myself. I'm good in the shower. Anyway, let's. The second one is this. It could be that the real target was actually Oduol. William Oduol was the target. Why? Because William Oduol brought scrutiny, microscope, mataa yalifunguliwa, and put Siaya County under a microscope, under scrutiny. Okay? William Oduol exposed the nakedness of Siaya County. So William Oduol was not somebody who can be trusted by these corrupt Siaya politicians. Whether it's the MCAs who are very quick to move a motion to impeach him. Very quick. Instead of actually looking into what he was saying. Because he said, if you remember, let me take you back. Oduol's claim was, listen, I went and checked out this Empress account, and there's a lot of unusual, huge sum of money being withdrawn from the Empress account. Could we please look at this? What's going on here? Where are they going? Where is this money going? And that alone made him an enemy of all these officials, whether it was Jack Odinga and even Orengo. Stop talking to him. The MCAs, when they heard about that, they were quickly trying to impeach him. See what I'm saying? So could it be, listen to me very carefully. Oh, Shaba, Saba, Bobola, Sa. Listen to me very carefully. Turn to your neighbor. Listen to me very much quickly. Could it be that Oduol William was the real target of this assassination attempt by poisoning? But Orengo Agri, James, was being used to throw off the investigation. Okay, I know you're scratching your head. You're saying, what are you talking about? I'll tell you. Let me explain to you. Sit down. Let me explain to you. Orengo is a major figure. Okay? Orengo is a what? Is a major figure, as I've mentioned. He's a big wig. If Orengo and Oduol are both unalived, wakimalizwa, wakiuliwa, the focus will be more on Orengo. Who unalived Orengo? Sindio? Kwa sababu Orengo is the celebrity here. Yeye ndio mtu mkubwa. Unaelewa? So everyone will be looking at nani ameua Orengo. No one will be worried about Oduol. And if you look at the general public perception would be that Orengo amemalizwa na nini? Amemalizwa with his political enemies. Now, the general perception outside of Siaya, not inside the Siaya, kwa sababu wana Siaya ndio wamejua ile siasa ndani ndani, the intricacies. The intricacies. Intricate nature. Karibu sana Eve Mwangi. Weka like hapo, mwekeni like, tafadhali, msinicheze, don't play with me. Mwekeni like. Hata nyinyi mko X hapo. Ingine hapo YouTube mweke like. So what I'm saying this, listen to me. So Oduol akiuliwa na Orengo auliwe. You know, if Oduol akikufa, if they were to poison Oduol only, yeah? Shi Maria mwewe. Nitaanza Kikuyu, msinicheze, yeah? Neguo. Hey, we. Usifanye nikoroge sasa. Nike. Haya, ngoja kidogo. Haya, wacha niweleze kidogo. If they maliza Oduol, if Oduol is taken out fast, only by himself, Oduol akikufa peke yake, na Orengo awachwe, it will be very easy to catch whoever is behind this, because they'll do what I'm doing right now. They'll be looking for motive in any murder, in any killing. The first thing they do is look at what was the motive. Sindio? Ama namna gani? Watangalia ni motive ni nini. Now it will be very obvious that Oduol ameuliwa kwa sababu ali-expose nini? Ali-expose the amount of corruption that was happening in Siaya County. And that will lead people to actually look at what was actually happening in Siaya. Ni nini ilikuwa inaendelea hapo as far as monetarily, the financial aspect of it. Who was actually, hii pesa ilikuwa inapotea hii, ilienda wapi? Who was taken? Because most likely, the person who is siphoning that money from the Impress account without the approval of the county people, the people of Siaya, that's probably somebody who wanted Oduol out. It will be easy to solve. Unaelewa? Lakini ukiua Oduol na uwe Orengo, people will think, okay, Orengo ameuliwa na a far more greater power than just the normal political enemies within Siaya. Unaelewa? So they might even say that Orengo ameuliwa na nini? Na Ruto. Kwa sababu alikataa broad base, because to the majority of people who are outside Siaya, they will look at it like there's no way Orengo can be unalived by the people members of the ODM. Ubebu wa kiporo. Mnasikia? Unaona hizo comments zenu zinakuja very thick and fast. Wacha nisome zingine hapa hivi kidogo. Okay. What is saying? Gypsy Collins says, yes, only the Shakahola you are not allowed to mention Raila. Otherwise, you will get kicked out. Ask Shakahola, haven't seen Shakahola in a while. Unajua watu walitoroka huko. Alienda ku State House akakula. Orengo alienda kukula State House. Haya, nani alimwambia alienda kukula? Leo, okay. Okay. I don't know. I don't want them to die. I want them to seek refuge and expose the evil in ODM. And yes, is Orengo still in Kenya? Because if he's still in Kenya, watamaliza. Especially if he knows something that he wasn't supposed to know, or if he suspects, obviously, okay. If Orengo went to State House and ate at the State House, alafu akatoka hapo and he felt like he was poisoned. It's obvious that someone at State House alijaribu kumaliza. So if Orengo is still getting treatment in Kenya, whoever was trying to get rid of them atajaribu kumaliza the job so that he doesn't come out and say anything that ati walikula huko ndio hiyo chakula ndio liwaua. You understand? So okay. Mliposikia Gachagua akisema yeye hubebewa kiporo na Dorcas, mkaona ana joke. I don't know what kiporo is. Kiporo ni nini? Hebu mtu anieleze kiporo ni nini. Mariam, kiporo ni nini? After kukula State House, after 2 weeks akaenda missing, ndio maana State House is the first suspect. Absolutely. Anyone is the new. But you know what? Hata kama ni State House is the suspect. I mean, okay, maybe State House must be the people who are carrying out the actual Ninio. But tujiulize hivi. What will be the motive ya State House, Ruto aka Ruto, kumaliza Orengo? Kwa sababu what I'm saying is this. For example, and I'm giving this example, same at this is what happened. Raila might have given the order to Ruto afanye hiyo kitu huko State House. That way it's ni kitu ambayo you can't really trace it back. For example, vile Miguna alikuwa ninio, alikuwa forcibly taken out of Kenya, okay? Okay? Vile alifanya hivyo. Order ilitoka wapi? Order ilitoka kwa Raila through Uhuru through Matiangi through Moses Kuria, and to those jambazis who are calling themselves security forces ambao walimpiga shindano na wakamtoa. But the original order was from who? Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. See what I'm saying? So the order might be originally from Raila Odinga huko through Zakayo, Kibet, whoever prepared the food. Unaona? So it's hard to trace it back because the number one thing as an investigator. Inakula kesho. Okay. Okay. Thank you for the clarification. Course you keep on. The number one thing, when a crime is committed, especially when somebody ends up dead, the first question is, what was the motivation behind it? What's the motivation? What's the motive? Not motivation, but motive. Because motive is what helps, solve the crime. Ndio maana nilikuwa nawaambia, if it was Oduol who was Oduol alone who was poisoned, then it is easy to conclude that the fact that he came out and exposed the county as being corrupt, that is enough motive to say that somebody within that county wanted him gone. Okay? So then if it's Orengo who we are asking, who would want James Orengo gone? We should ask ourselves, who would want him gone? Who are his enemies within Siaya or his party or his political enemies? Who would want Orengo James Agri gone? Who? Somebody told me in the first comment that look no further than the two Wabudu Shetani. You figure out who they are. You see what I'm saying? So that's the question that you should ask yourself. What is the motive? Who gains? Nani atafaidika Orengo akiuliwa? Naelewa? That's what I want. Hiyo ndio nataka hiyo mujibu. If you can answer that, then you are on the right path. You can get your answer there. Who might have removed this guy? Unaelewa? So that's how I look at it, okay? So we shall continue. Now, while we do that, ngojeni kidogo. Nyinyi mnacheza sana. You're not serious. Mlike video jamani, fadhali tukiendelea mbele. Mkae mstari wa mbele, like friends in Shakaola said. Mkae mstari wa mbele, muzidi kulike na munifuate kwa X na muzidi kulike hii nini. So Hamisi, somebody told me about Hamisi. I know Nani had So something interesting happened. Okay, tuangalie vizuri. Niliwaambia ati huyu ni kijana wa nani. Tuangalia hapa kidogo. Hebu angalieni hapa kidogo. Look at this, what happened. I was embarrassed looking at this video, but you know, Kenya ni Kenya ndugu yangu. Tutaiangalia tu hivyo. Haya.
Baba. Baba.
Now, this is why I usually say that, for example, before I even talk about what we just watched there, this is why I usually say that if Babu Owino was to leave ODM, that will be the end of Babu Owino. I know some of you will say, oh, Babu Owino is popular with the people, whatever the case is, which he is, but I'm saying this. They have so much dirt on Babu Owino that he has to play ball. He has to play. Ongili unanisikia? Ongili cannot leave ODM. He has to do everything they ask for. That's how shackled Ongili is. Because remember, ile kesi yake ya kuchapa mtu bunduki. Unajua, ODM is a cult. Wacha niwaambie kama mjui saizi, let me just break niwaambie saizi. ODM is a cult. ODM, it's not only a terrorist group, it's a cult. Nani hawezi kuzaa? Hebu tueleze vizuri Shaima. ODM is a cult. Okay? Ni kama kuingia mafia. It's a crime family. Kama if you know anything about... What did I just... All right. Well, who is doing this to me? Okay, I'm doing that to myself. Anyway, like I was saying, ODM is a cult. Unaweza kuingia na utatumiwa vizuri, lakini kutoka ni matanga. Ni kama watu wanasemanga juu ya Mombasa. Kwenda Mombasa ni raha, lakini kuondoka ni matanga. I mean, it's a say that they used to say that. Okay, even Sifuna is going nowhere. He's full of hot air. Absolutely. Sifuna endi mahali. Sifuna is a con man. And I enjoy it what? Because like I said in my earlier video, if Sifuna wants to leave ODM and is being bothered ati Ruto anaua watu, hasn't followed the ninio, angesha ondoka. Sinangesha toka tu aseme mimi nimechoka na hii. I have strong conviction. I feel convicted by my principles, my values, and I cannot stand sitting in a table, in a party that sits on a table with a murderer, an abductor, somebody who is involved in extrajudicial killing and criminal activities, looting the country dry. Sinangesema hivyo, naondoke. But he's not going to leave. Atakuja hapa, utamwona hapo kwa Okwara na ama sijui nani huko kwa NTV. Yeah? Akipiga makelele arguing with people like Mungatana. Yeah? Mungatana the Neo, watu ambao wanakula mamba. Then mnaona ati sasa yeye ndio ana argue vizuri na anapiga he's heckling all the time. Na mnasema yes, Sifuna is anafinya. He's injecting. What is injecting? He's not injecting anything. He's just a Neo like Onyonka. Onyonka kienda hapo unamwonanga hapo na ile sauti yake kaya mlevi. But these people are just con men and women. If he was really bothered by what the arrangement of road base, Sifuna panga vitu jiondoe. Same thing with the way Babu Owino, but Babu Owino way you are in a worse position than even Sifuna. Sifuna unajua hana madrama nyingi unless wako na siri fulani ya Sifuna ambao hawajaondoa. Kwa sasa Babu Owino ukiondoka ODM hivi ati tunataka kusimama, na I heard you say that utasimama wapende wasipende without their support or not. Hey Babu Owino, utajipata Kodiaga maximum prison hiyo siku. Kesi yake itafunguliwa. Kesi yako itafunguliwa immediately, hata si ati ile immediately. Babu Owino hiyo siku utaenda Kodiaga maximum prison. Ati unapiga mbitu bunduki kwa tumeona kwa video. I heard you say that you took responsibility, ati umepiga sorry na ukamlipa na kadhalika, ati sasa iishe hivyo. No. Hiyo haijaisha na haitawahi kuisha. They will be holding that over you forever and ever. Wata hold hiyo. Siku ile utasimama tu hivi ati unajifanya ati unasema ati wewe sasa umemwea pembe ati unataka kuondoka. We! Cheza. Ongili you are in ninio, uko kwa ninio cult ya ODM. Usicheze. Don't think that ODM imekuwa 20 years for nothing. Wewe nafikiri tu ni michezo. I'm just helping you Ongili. The day that you'll stand up and say ati sijui nimechoka na ODM ati naenda kusema peke yangu, hiyo ndio siku utajipata Kodiaga. Na watakupatia 59 years without possibility of parole. By the time utoke dunia imeisha, Yesu amerudi. So I'm trying to help you Ongili. Ongili nilikuambia wewe nikupatia advice, hutaki kupata. Usikiangi advice yangu, umejiweka tu hapo. Haya, shauri yako. So let me tell you about something very, very quickly. Kasarani, and I will deal with that. It's a very good comment there by Shaima. Kasarani leo kulikuwa na mambo mingi, but let me tell you something. Ruto went and personally made sure, Ruto along with the ODM goons, politicians, and Sonko and all these useless idiots, they made sure that they vetted every supporter that was going to Kasarani, so that any supporter that goes to Kasarani doesn't dare scream one term or two term or whatever the case is. It was carefully crafted. That's why you had people complaining that wanasiasa wote wamenunua hizo matikiti za Kasarani. They didn't buy it because they want to be gracious so they can give wananchi free tickets. No. They were buying it so that they can hand over those tickets to people who they make sure anyone who's given that ticket will not attend Kasarani and start screaming one time or Ruto must go. Yeah, hiyo video nimeonyesha hapo ilikuwa ya Wakongo ambao they were saying Rwanda is involved in it. They also have their political say hapo. The world has been politicized. Hata mpira is politicized. Now Shaima amesema I think Sifuna is daring them to fire him ndio atoke na sympathy votes kama Gachagua. Maybe I don't know what to say. Possibly, but mimi nasema hivi, the reason why I usually say that Sifuna anatucheza, because Sifuna has been in this position so many times, especially ile siku Raila was invited at ICC, was it not ICC? KICC, the initial, after the June 25th. the first time vile ile amendment bill ilikuwa inaenda kusainiwa to law, remember, Raila showed up with Kalonzo in the signature, in the ile siku ya Ruto alikuwa na sign hiyo amendment bill, which became an act law. He joined Raila Odinga that day with Kalonzo. And after that, akaanza kujifanya ati it was Kalonzo who told him to attend that. Alikuwa hataki kuattend after he got some backlash. Because remember, even the Gen Z were telling him, we're rude, kaa nyumbani, we'll handle this, okay? But akaenda hapo. Now, he was there with Sifuna, Musalia, and all these busybodies. Sifuna, if you remember that time, Sifuna was trolling the Gen Zs, saying, hapo sisi tulienda kama ODM, mwache kutusumbua. Nyinyi ni Gen Zs, tulikuwa tunafanya mambo yetu. And even Sifuna received a backlash after giving those statements. Alikuwa anasema ati, how kama ODM, they can do whatever they want. They can meet wherever they want. You know, basically not respecting the general ethos of the population, of the people of Kenya. Because Gen Z was a representation of the majority of Kenyans who are dissatisfied with this administration. You understand? But Sifuna was very clear there, you know, disrespecting them by saying, we have the right to meet whoever we met. If his party leader, mwenyewe Raila Odinga, was trying to play it off in respect of the kind of feeling, the mood of the country, you know, akajifanya ati mimi Kalonzo ndio grabbed me to go there. I didn't even know about the signing of the bill, of the amendment bill, the day that Ruto was assenting it to law. It was done in at KICC, if you remember. You know, then Sifuna akasema, we don't have to consult with anyone. We can meet the president as ODM. We don't have to jolly about it. Basically showing us that ODM, to him, he values the ODM party more than the will of the people. The will of the people is sovereign to anything. It's even above the constitution itself. Because the people can come together, majority of the people. We are a constitutional democracy, meaning we decide which way we go by the majority of the people, through the majority of the people. Our constitution supports and respects and gives power to the will of the majority of the people. Democracy, demos people, okay? Democracy, the rule by the majority. So if the majority of the people were not happy with the amendment bill and were not happy by the fact that Raila and the ODM went and met Ruto during the assenting of the amendment bill into law, when Ruto was there and they shook hands, and Sifuna comes out and shits on them by saying, we have the right to meet anyone and anybody anywhere as ODM, that means he has no respect for the will of the sovereign people of Kenya. And that's when I knew this guy was nothing but another con job. Okay? So, the gates and roads to Kasarani were closed early. Absolutely. He was trying to save himself embarrassment. Can you imagine if he was there and watu waingie 60,000 people waanze ku scream, Ruto must go? It would have been an international embarrassment. So he made sure, ndio akaichukua watu kaa Sonko na sijui nani, Aladawa, sijui Adawa, sijui ndini, wanunue matikiti alafu waanze kupatia watu. That's the whole point. What a name, attention seeker. Absolutely, he's attention seeker. You know, if they fire him, people will look bad, because if Sifuna is talking about people, right, then why? Sorry, I didn't get what you're trying to say here. If if they fire him, people will look bad, because if Sifuna is talking about people, right, then why? I don't know. I kind of don't understand that statement. I would like to, can you clarify that kidogo ndio nielewe? Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So we'll find out more about what's happening with Agre. Agre is definitely, I hope he pulls it through and is alive and well, and so that we can actually see what's happening. So we'll continue to know, but again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're friends with William Oduol, please find him, tag him on X, Mwambie Kenya Revolutionary is looking for you. He wants to interview. He wants you in his program. Utuelezee what transpired. Like I said, majority of this media, NTV, sijui Citizen, sijui nini, watu watakusaidia. They'll ask you silly questions as if watakuuliza maswali zile maswali ambao William Ruto or Raila would ask you. Watakuuliza, did you eat breakfast? How are you feeling now? Are you coping well? Just like those questions JKL was asking Nani, Martha Karua. Is it hard waking up in the morning, fighting for Kenyans? Yeah, tunataka maswali ambao yeah, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I will leave it here. I had a blast. Nitawachia hapa. Shaiman, I wanted to get to your question, but you kama umekwama huko kidogo. You had a not a question, but your comment. I wanted to read it. So I can respond to it, but it seems like you go happy. But guys, I've had a blast. I have to leave it here. Thank you so much, Gypsy Corner. Thank you so much, Shaima Hussein. Thank you so much, Pritika Kaur, kama kawaida. Gypsy, Ruto right. Oh yeah, yeah. Spice FM, it died off. I mean, once the three of them were kind of what do you call it? Symbiotic or whatever, or they gelled well, okay, even though I can't stand and do, but they kind of had that chemistry. I liked Eric. Once Eric left ilikufa hivyo, then when what's his name, the older guy, I forgot his name, what's the older guy, I really like him. He's funny, he plays dumb, but he asks very, very he intentionally acts like he doesn't understand the issue so that you can explain it in a way that the layman can understand it. CT, thank you. Yeah, CT, I saw he was a guest in some radio show somewhere. But CT too, very, 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 I like CT. I enjoyed CT and Eric. Was it Eric? The one that went to fix the nation, whatever the case is. Yeah, I think his name is Eric. I like CT and Eric. Ndu was filling up for being, whatever, but I like the three. Let me just say that. But I enjoyed much Eric's question. Eric was the one who alikuwa nauliza maswali that were probing question. I like that, even though, Eric knew when to stop. Like, akiona kama nakufinya sana, like there's one time I saw him, he was interviewing Martha Karua, and Martha Karua started getting really defensive because the questions were becoming tough. And Eric akaisense akamwacha hapo. Even Herman Manyora went there and was looking silly because Herman Manyora is a pinhead. But anyway, Herman Manyora alianza kulizwa maswali akaanza kukwama hivi. Then Eric just gave him, akampatia space asimfinye sana. So I like it. Yeah. Eric Latte or something like that. Yeah. So Eric and CT, those were my favorite. I hope they kind of make it together. Or I wish they can even start their own podcast. That would be something. Eric and CT, they can always do maybe, I don't know. But nowadays, I can't stand watching the new Spice FM. I mean, it's like watching, I don't know, shit. I don't know. I can't watch it. You may lose the reason for watching it. It just lost it. But anyway, so hopefully those guys get it together or bring it back. And I think if they have their own show where they are not limited, they don't feel like it's not, they won't feel the pressure of not getting all, unajua if you're working for Standard, who owns Standard? Somebody, whatever. Is it Macharia, Raila's friend, and they're part of the political class? So they always have to feel like, sifinye your guest sana because they might not come back. But I think those guys, two of them can actually have something really enjoyable. But hey, life happens like that. Sometimes if you have something good and some people don't like it, some powerful people, they come down on you and destroy everything. Just like, I mean, I've faced my own nilikuwa naendelea vizuri, watu wakaingilia hapo, akina sijui hapo. Yeah, Eric Latif. Thank you, Ashley M. Yeah. Alamiko, I had something going on hapa. Hey, watu wengine wakaanza kushikach my feelings, wakaingia huko, wakaanza kufinya maneno, internet yangu na ninio, nikakuwa hacked hapa, wanadiva. Kwa sababu wamekasirika nasema mambo ya Martha Karua. But you're in life, ndio nasema, so hey, listen, that's life. You have to, actually, my last my last encouragement is this. Anything good you have to fight for. If you think about it, I was thinking about it yesterday. Anything that's good you have to fight for. Ukitaka bibi mzuri mpaka umpiganie, you have to have the patience and you will have to fight for it. Just like salvation pia. Yesu died for you, lakini it is up to you to fight the temptation so that you can stay on course as a saved holy person, so you can make it to heaven and join Jesus. So everything good mpaka upiganie. Freedom, democracy, constitutionalism, all these things that we want in our government tuone Kenya mpaka upiganie. Angalia historia hata ya America, the way they are. They fought for their the civil rights. They fought for it. People lost lives. They marched. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all these great leaders that you saw. These are people who actually were there. They, they marched, they fought, they confronted the powers that were trying to oppress them. So the same thing, if you are going to expect these things, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, kumaliza corruption, tumaliza the political class of Kenya, you have to fight. You will not win this battle by joining them and taking their money and singing their song, singing to their tune. You won't do that. You have to fight. This is just how it is. Good things in this world, good things you have to fight for. Ndio maana hata mimi kijaribu kunimazo wananihack, wananinio traffic yangu, I have to stick up because I believe in what I'm doing. With other you other people from other channels ambao mnaendelea na channel zenu, God bless you whatever you're doing, and you're doing the same thing. Endeleeni. You have to fight for yours, okay? So that's what I'm saying. Good things you have to fight for. But namona Ani ameingia kama amechelewa sana. So Ani umechelewa class. So we tried kukaa background mpaka akasema Martha Karua. Of course, I had never stopped talking about Martha Karua. That's just something that I have to say. I can't stand that witch. But anyway, I didn't even have to mention her, but ndio mlileta up. Political Kauru ndio akianza kumention, then I mentioned her. I wasn't even thinking about her, but hey, it's for shits and giggles, so it's good. But yeah, like I was saying, so who would want James Orengo dead or unalived? The answer is look at the motive, possible motive. That's where I leave it. I can't give you a name. I can't give you whatever because I really don't know who was behind it. But all I can say is that look at the motive. And I just learned, thanks to Gypsy Corner and others who are on the comment section, who actually told me that it wasn't even James Orengo peke yake. His deputy also was poisoned. Now him, the reason why I got excited when I heard about that, my antennas went up, is because I know they wanted to impeach him. I know they wanted to get rid of him. I know that he exposed the corruption that happened in that county. So somebody wanted him. But James Orengo, I don't know who might want him out. But then when I think about his recent pronouncements speaking against this broad-based government, and I've explained to you, the bigwigs in ODM want this broad-based government because they are gaining from it financially. So they have vested interest in this whole arrangement to stick. They want it to stick around as long as it can. That's why I want to say 2027. Again, you can hear them wanasema mpaka 2027 because, like somebody said, I don't know, was it Simiyu or whatever his name is. I don't know if I saved it. Alisema 2027 ikifika, just 6 months before elections, or something like that, ODM will withdraw. Watatoka kwa hiyo broad-based government. Waseme ati they are now, what is it called? They're now against the broad base. Okay? It's a strategy because they'll do that knowing very well that Kasongo might lose the elections. Okay? And whoever is going to win the election, if it's not them, they will do what they do best. Waingie, make the country ungovernable through protests, vita, and all this stuff, so that they can go negotiate na waingie kwa the next version of broad-based BBI intergenerational bullcrap that they always fight for in order to get piece of the pie as far as power is concerned. So we know the game, how they play it, and how they do it. Okay? So it makes sense. It makes sense. Now, here it is. I like what this guy said. I think he was pretty much explaining the game plan of ODM. Actually, I'll read your comment in a section. I've highlighted it. I'll just address it in a few. Hold on. Are you there? Why is my thing not thinging?
Why is Uhuru Kenyatta running around free, eating Tura around?
Because the person who is in charge now is complicit in the same crime. He was a deputy president when all these things were happening. When we open that Pandora's box, no one is safe. Even the president who is in office today. To some extent.
Even Raila.
Even
because
Raila.
When they joined the handshake.
Yes.
There was some money that was spent there that was not.
Because something that I want to get very clearly, and I think the audience is also wondering, because if I borrow, if I lend you some money,
yes,
I need it back.
Yes.
And you cannot tell me that, look,
I am not.
It got lost.
Before you come in, these financiers, the word lenders, you need to borrow within the constitution of that country. So when we write a letter to the Federal Bank of the US that we are not going to pay this particular amount of money because it was not used according to our constitution, then what they will do is to look at the people who came for the money. Because we have our constitution, they will ask, what does your constitution say? So here, we only borrow for development. And according to our records, the money that you are talking about did not come in through the consolidated fund, which is constitutional. Parliament did not approve, which means the person who came for the money took the money for his own private use. So as far as the national records are concerned, we do not have that money here. So can you get more explanation from the one who took money? There is a president who did that. Was it Malaysian president? He didn't pay debt. They had to come and take government officials who were in charge at the time of borrowing. So as a country, we should actually...
Okay, they were talking about something else, but that gentleman, I forgot his name. He actually explained how ODM is planning on playing this. They're planning on sticking out this broad-based government, which they know is probably very unpopular and probably is going to lose if we are to have a fair and transparent, verifiable elections, as the Constitution stipulates. But the aim of sticking up or sticking with this broad-based government is because they receive goodies from it. And when I say receiving goodies, I'm talking about the ODM party head honchos, okay? The Raila Odingas, the Junettes, the Wangas, and all these criminals, okay? Those are the guys who are going to enjoy the broad-based, the fruits of broad-based government. That's why you hear them gloat every opportunity they get, especially in weekend funerals and weddings, talking about the importance of working with Ruto and how Ruto is actually revolutionizing the economy. The usual nonsense that you hear from Badi, okay? That's why they came out very strongly speaking against what Sifuna spoke about in Judith Okwara, whatever her name is, at Citizen TV. Okay? Now, to read Ashley's, I think, Ashley, this is exactly what I was saying earlier, that the second possibility of what might have been the motive is whoever was coming for Orengo, probably the target might have been the deputy, because again, as I've said, the deputy governor of CI is the one who exposed how corrupt these individuals who are heading the county representatives are, okay? He mentioned the accountant who started getting nervous when he asked him about the money that was being withdrawn from the Impress account When he tried to ask James Orengo, Orengo started ghosting him. So, and after that, everyone kind of, he was the odd one out. When he told the MCAs, the MCAs were quick to impeach him, okay? And he survived the impeachment through the Senate, National Senate, okay? So he would be a perfect target to kneel. And maybe the person who was trying to take him out was trying to take him out and take out Orengo, so it throws off the actual motive, okay? So you are right. I agree with you. I see the same one. Ashley saying also, I suspect the reason SGR is secret is because it has the same PPP setup as was being proposed by JKA. Absolutely. Headcons, yes. Headcons. I like that term. Headcons, yes. So we should demand full exposure through the courts, else ask the court to prohibit the government from using public funds to pay that loan. Transparency is a must. Absolutely. Gladys Wanga and Millie Odhiambo both trying to pull Ruto's attention to be his running mate. Pathetic. Absolutely. Now, the problem with this, again, I agree with you, Ashley, that the courts should get involved with this. But again, I do not trust the judicial system to intervene into this. Even if the judicial system, intervene and make a ruling on ruling as such, it will never happen. Case in point, I usually give an example of this amendment. What is it called? The amendment bill, IBC amendment bill. Okay, this was crafted as a result of the NADCO discussions. Okay, where a bunch of individuals sat somewhere at Bomas in an air-conditioned room, Kalonzo being one of them, who was not a voted official, okay, he didn't hold any public office. Nobody voted for him, okay? But he chaired the NADCO discussions. And this was a discussion between two-party coalition. It was not representative of the whole country, okay? So if there was a discussion about any proposals that's supposed to be made to law, that should be happening at the legislative body, okay? Because that's where we discuss our national issues, debate, we have public participation, then we pass a law. But here we had a bunch of private people who belong to two-party coalitions came up with these proposals, okay, and forced their party members to pass it as law without public participation again, which is a requirement in the Constitution. Never happened, okay? And the party, and the judge, I told you, I've been saying this, I've played this video 1,000 times, the judge actually ruled and said that NADCO discussion and anything that comes out of that NADCO discussion, whether it's the 10-point nonsense that they usually come up with, was not anchored in law, therefore make it illegal. But these guys did not care about that. They still passed it and made it a law. And today we have a law in place called the IBC Amendment Act, which was passed illegally. So what I'm trying to say is this. While we would like to have this happen, the court intervene and, order the president or whoever acquire these loans illegally to be responsible for it, as Article 226, subsection 5 says, this will never happen because the corrupt political elite, being led by not Uhuru, but Ruto, who heads the state, would never take action because they are the very corrupt people who actually approved or signed on these illegal loans. Okay, so I don't expect anything to happen in that front. So, so there you go. We can't trust the Kenyan courts, always work with the government of the time. Absolutely. That's why it's important the next president should have no affiliations with any past government, all the way from Moi, Kibaki, Uhuru, Ruto. I agree with you. So that is why I come from the school of thought that we should have a popular people's revolution, because that's the only way we can produce a president that is not affiliated with the past government, all the way from Moi, Kibaki, Uhuru, and Ruto. That's the only way we can have a president like that. Because if we go through this next presidential elections or general election, given the IBC, which has demonstrated that they are a tool of the political class, we are most likely going to get a president who comes from the past affiliation, the political class, whether it's Matiangi. I'm not even convinced that Maraga at this point. He says good things and I like him personally, but I don't think he's going anywhere. Okay. So we are probably going to get a Gachagua or Matiangi or Ruto. And if you get one of those three, we are still doomed. You will never see anyone go to court for their past misdeeds, corrupt deeds, criminal activities. We will get the same, just a new name, same Ninio. Okay? So that's why I say all this Tutalinda Kura, Gachagua telling us there's no way Ruto is going to win. He's right. No, there's no way Ruto is going to win. But guess what? He's the one who is going to count the vote. So he's going to win if you're going to go through the voting, the IBC, which him along with his corrupt brother, Gwambo Terengenye, have handpicked. So don't expect him to lose. Ndio maana naambia nyinyi mnaenda kuchunga kura for what? Okay? No one in the new position is going to save Kenya. We must have a third option if we want Kenya to change. Absolutely. You are 100% right. And I think Willis Otieno said something of sort. Actually, he said something like similar to that. Let me see if I have the clip of that. He said something very interesting. Here it is. Willis Otieno. That's, I think it's Jimmy Wanjigi's Jimmy Wanjigi's name.
Look at Kalonzo, look at Martha. Those were all deputies at one time. Look at Raila, look at Ruto. Those were running for president. Now the deputies on one side and the presidents on one side. The deputies have been joined by a former prime cabinet secretary, I mean, this de facto prime minister, so to speak. And you're telling me, out of that competition, you are going to have a new Kenya, a rebirth. No, you can only have a rebirth when you decide legacy.
Ooh. That's
look at Gachagua, look at Kalonzo, look at Martha. Those were all deputies at one time. Look at Raila, look at Ruto. Those were running for president. Now the deputies on one side and the presidents on one side. The deputies have been joined by a former prime cabinet secretary, I mean, this de facto prime minister, so to speak. And you're telling me, out of that competition, you are going to have a new Kenya, a rebirth. No, you can only have a rebirth when you decide legacy.
Okay. Yeah, so he's saying exactly the same thing Ashley is saying. What do I think about those? So, I think it's a distraction. That's my personal opinion. I think the Osoi guy who used to be in the US Army or whatever the case is, they started this organization called FBI. I think I mentioned somebody, listen to me. I actually, let me play you that video. When they were arrested, there was somebody, one of them, who came out and spoke, and he had a ring, a Freemason ring, who was defining. Actually, let me play you that video so you can understand, get the context. I don't trust Osoi. I think he's a distraction. I would go as far as saying that he's probably working with Ruto. That's my take. No, I don't. I just don't trust him. I don't. If I can only get it, where can I get this thing? I didn't save it. Did I save it? Yeah. Just give me a second. Okay, here it is. This is one of their folks, the FBI. Hold on. Here it is. Here it is. So this is after Osoi was arrested. Then what's his name? Kop Shakur, who also is a suspected NIS. But here's the video. I want you to look at it. This is, so pay attention to his ring.
All right.
Pay attention to his ring, the ring that he's wearing. On the same hand, he has that yellow iPhone, iWatch, or whatever the case. It looks like an iWatch or maybe a Google phone. But anyway, look at, pay attention to the ring, the Freemason ring.
I warn you, Ruto, and I want you to listen to me very clear. All right? I want you to listen to me very clear, without fear or favor. I've been warning you, but you are taking it as a joke. And this is the last warning. release Patrick Nyambaka Osoi. Release him. Release him. Release Cop Shako. Don't tamper with the cops. We have so many comrades outside there. You don't know. And I warned you before, and I told you this. We as the forces, we are tired. And we will fight for our own people. We will too. I've said this, that we are not Gen Zs of threatened, shoot to kill. We are not civilians. Our ways are different with your way. When times comes, it's now coming. Release those two comrades with immediate effect if you want peace. And if you don't want peace, remember, Kenya Prisons X are coming for you. KDF X are coming for you. Kenya Navy X are coming for you. Kenya Air Force X are coming for you. Kenya Police X are coming for you. GSU are coming for you. AP are coming for you. Don't try the fire. Ruto, you are going over. And we are not going to tolerate your nonsense. In fact, we are the one who handle power to you. And we are taking it, whether you like it or not. So, consult your CS, Murkomen, with the immediate effect, and the stupid DCIs and the IG to work on this matter with immediate effect. Release Osoi. Release Cop Shakur. Set my boys free. And if you don't do so, we are coming for you. I am coming for you. Son of a bitch.
Allah, where's that Tuoli? Did you see the ring? That's my question. It's more interesting than what he's saying. I never trust these Freemasons. I do not. And Ruto is rumored to be a Freemason. So how can they go against each other? It's a distraction. Like Gypsy Kona said, here he's saying, yes, apparently the group has been put together by Murkomen to distract and blind the public. Absolutely. This is a circus to make us believe that, then they squash it. Then right. Yes. How did they hand power to him so our votes didn't count? Right. Yep. That's Freemason ring. Never trust this. Anyone with a Freemason ring. I don't care who you are. If you have it, I do not. In fact, there's specific rings that they usually have. Not only this one, there's that one that. Anyway, I'll make a video about that next time. I just wanted to show you that since you ask about Osoi or something like that. His name is right, Osoi. Yeah, but yeah. So listen to me. In my opinion, again, I will say this, and I maintain this, and I will not stop saying this until we actually realize that that's what we need. What we need for the umpteenth time, we need to come together, Kenyans of all races, tribes, age group, okay? Because once we come together, that constitutes a democracy. Democracy, the majority of the people, ruled by majority. We go to State House, remove Ruto through a popular revolution. The same thing Gen Z were trying to do. A peaceful people's popular revolution like Bangladesh. Remove Ruto. That's the only way how you can do it. Not only Ruto and all the legislative body, members of the parliament and Senate. Okay? And remove the whole IEBC. Choose a new IEBC. Then we go to the next election where we shall have a new, fresh elections that's verifiable, transparent, okay, and fair, okay, then the new leaders who come in shall have a very clear understanding that whatever they do must be in line with the Constitution, because we, the people, took back power from these representatives, and we expressed this power, exercised it directly by going to the streets in numbers and declare Ruto resign. That's how to do it. But if you go to this, tukianza going through these institutions that are already compromised, we are going to find ourselves at the very same place we are in 10 years from now. Unfortunately, no one wants to face that reality. People think that, oh, a popular revolution will be chaotic, what watajiua. Guess what? All that chaos that you're describing is going to happen after the elections, after Ruto declares he has won the elections. Hiyo mnaogopa, hiyo vita mnaogopa, hiyo ndio inaenda kufanyika on ninio. Then alafu conclave itaingia. Conclave agwambo piringenyo ayatondo pod ataingia na conclave yake. In order to have peace. Tukaeni chini. Before you know it, okay, they are now, the very faces are back again. Musalia Mudavadi ndio deputy prime minister, Raila prime minister, Ruto the president, Matiang'i sijui the third prime minister. Haya, endeleeni na hiyo maneno yenu. Who is to be trusted in Kenya to lead us? Naona tu Kasongo akirudi because confusion is too much. Like I said, once we exercise our power as a people and remove this regime, the next person that we shall choose will have no choice, because like I said, he or she will have a clear understanding that ukiwekwa kwa hiyo kiti, lazima huheshimu katiba. You have to operate on the katiba. And by the way, we are not going to just sit there and say, okay, now you're the president or whatever the case is. Tutafungua hizo cases za Kasongo, Uhuru, Kibaki, Moi, Jomo. All the historical injustices. Mpaka ninio. Na hiyo pesa zote ambao wamekuwa wakiiba, wakichukua ninio. That's how we go about it, okay? Remove them, and who will be in charge? Who fills the vacuum? That vacuum ruined Libya and Iraq. Not necessarily. Libya and Iraq was not in a vacuum, okay? Libya and Iraq was destroyed by design, okay? We already know the Syrian rebels, the Libyan rebels that actually took out Muammar Gaddafi were these ISIS that were being given money by Hillary Clinton. Walikuwa napewa pesa na EU, US, to remove Muammar Gaddafi. Okay, then after that, this is what they did. We had a sectarian warfare where ISIS was controlling a section of the country. Then the people who rose to resist the ISIS was controlling some section of the country. Okay, but this was done by design. So the Europeans and the Americans, the West, came out and say, okay, nice. Now we have a sectarian war. So what we're going to do, we're going to, of course, they control the section that is controlled by ISIS. So they wanatoa mafuta hapo for free, and the gold that was being mined, okay, kumbuka, Libya had like 500 trillion surplus, whatever the case is. Hizo zote zilipotea na hizo magold zao, okay? Same thing, they go to the other side that are fighting the ISIS, they strike a deal with them and say, oh, listen, your oil mtatupatia na eBay. Okay, so nataka peace. And that's how they looted Libya. That's why Libya is where it is right now. Same thing with Iraq. Once Saddam alianguka nini meni, Shiites and the Neo, what's that? Sunni, okay? Shiites, I think, were backed by Iranian-led militia, wakina Muqtada al-Sadr, okay? Then you had, the ISIS, Al-Qaeda backed US. You saw that, even John McCain was alichukua picha. It was pictured with meeting the head of ISIS, okay? So we know that these countries they came down by design. Si ati walianguka hivyo ati they couldn't gather around and have a, look at Bangladesh, look at Sudan. They didn't end up like Libya and Iraq. So there will be no vacuum. We are not animals. I mean, we are people who can sit down and say, okay, even if we take out Ruto, the whole executive branch and the legislative branch, we can even put Nani, Koome ashikilie for 90 days while we pick a new she will be the head of the state for 90 days. Okay? She cannot make any law. She cannot declare any decree. Okay? Yet ashikilia too as the head of state for 90 days while we have this transformation period, transition period, okay? Where transition of power is happening. So yet Asmama Apo, she takes care of the administrative part of the government for 90 days while we elect a new IEBC, and IEBC conducts a new election to choose new president, new MPs, new senators. Understand? So that's going to be, we don't have to have a vacuum. The places that you see that there's a lot of chaos, there's always external influences that happen. I'm not saying that it's not impossible for Kenya to end up like that, but I'm saying we as a people, if we stand up, just like the Bangladeshi did, we don't have to end up with a sectarian warfare, chaos, like the Iraq and Libya, okay? So that's why I'm saying we shouldn't worry about that. The revolution may succeed, but what next? Who takes over? We cannot have a power vacuum. That's just what I explained, okay? Just because we have a revolution does not mean that there will be a power vacuum. Like I said, we are people, we are human beings. Tunaweza kukaa chini, tuelewane, tuseme, hey, this is how we are going to do it. Martha Koome, shikilia hapo for 90 days. You're going to be the head of the state for 90 days while we need you. Now, tukisha constitute this a new executive branch of government and a new legislative branch of government, then we shall have a surgical surgical move on the judiciary. Tuanze kuangalia judicial system vile ama corrupt judges and all this stuff, okay? So we are not going to have a power vacuum, okay? That's what I mean. I know people are scared of this. Again, I used the example of Sudan, Bangladesh, and many others that have had, a peaceful transition of government, of power, okay, from the people to elected officials. So we shouldn't worry about that, because the other ukiangalia the other options, we are just going to end up with the very same people. Because these institutions that you trust, that you call independent, starting from the IEBC, or even the very judiciary you're talking about, or the legislative branch, they're all compromised. So how do you expect them to actually carry out a free, fair, transparent elections if they don't even want to carry out the recalling of these MPs that we are trying to remove? I mean, that whole statement that IBC gave last week about saying that there's no law in place to recall these MPs, that was already a stress test for the coming elections. They're basically demonstrating to you that they are working for the political class. If recalling Esther Passaris is a problem, the Constitution say you have the right for recall, and the IEBC comes out and say there's no law in place, okay? Basically saying that the legislative body should come up with a law that specifies how we remove these MPs, these very MPs that we're trying to remove. What do you expect when we go to the next general elections? You expect them to actually read that Ruto ameshindwa? That's what I'm saying. So it's either that or we have a revolution. I want you to think of it like this. Stop thinking of it as if revolution is this bloody, messy, chaotic exercise. It's not. It doesn't have to be. It can be as peaceful as we've seen other revolutions have taken place. Watu wanajitoka tu, wanatoka tu, wanasema, hey, listen, tumechoka, Ruto mpaka ondoke. Nobody is working, nobody is doing anything. Tunajitoa, tunasema tunaenda State House. Sote. Peaceful. Tunabeba tu maji na flag ya Kenya. That's it. Na majeshi wanatu protect. Like you saw, I mean, you saw what happened. The majeshi walitoka, the army came out and started protecting people. I'm not talking about this the nini ile ulionyesha hapo kwa BBC. You know, we saw it. Like ile mtaya pipeline. The army were telling police force, wacheni kushoot wananchi. They're not armed. Okay, we can have this conversation drag on till 2029. Okay, the revolution may succeed, but what next? Okay, not again. Okay, I mean, if you don't believe it, that's fine. I mean, I don't have to convince you. You don't have to convince me. I'm looking at the options that you're telling me. They are not going to work. Okay, the people have to, and it's constitutional, by the way. A revolution is it's very much in the constitution. Because in Asema, the people have the sovereign power, and they may exercise it directly or indirectly. So far, right now, we are exercising indirectly by this elected representative, which include Ruto. So if they fail to carry out their sole responsibility that we've entrusted them with, then we can take back that power and exercise it directly, because ideally we would like to see the legislative body impeach Ruto. But the legislative body has been bought. The IBC has been bought. The judiciary is toothless, probably also bought. So the executive branch has all the power, and it's being headed by Ruto. So Ruto is ruling supremely. Why are we still going to election? Kama tunaelewa Ruto amechukua all the power. I mean, why are we going to Dinio? Why are we going to elections? What are we going to do? Si tuendelee tu tuseme Ruto endelea mpaka ile siku tutakubali kusimama tukue revolution. That's what I'm saying. Most people are leading and buy the narratives of leaders. That's why it can't work. I agree to some extent, but not entirely. I think it can work. I mean, June 25th is something to go by. June 25th was a clear indication. Listen, those young men who went to the streets of Nairobi that day and occupied parliament, I'm pretty sure they were less than 100,000. And if it were not for I think it was military who saved Ruto, and the Boniface Mwangis of this world who convinced the majority of some of them to go home, Ruto will be gone. Ruto angesha ishia. Less than 100,000 people on the streets of Nairobi were already enough to take out Ruto. What makes you think that it can't work? You know, you have to look at the possibilities. Wacha usiangalie like, oh, it can't work. It has happened. It's possible, more than possible. Okay? Freemason working around the clock. You are misinterpreting. Okay, I think you mean misinterpreting the Constitution. Our direct exercise of power is elections by public participation and referendums. So what about the indirect one? Kennedy Onzere, you're saying that the direct exercise of power is, let's look at this Article 1. I'm glad you brought that up so we can just debunk that very quickly. Article 1 of the Kenyan 2010 Constitution. Let's read it very quickly so we can, it's good to ninio. Kuna mambo ya interpretation hapa. It's very clear. We can read it. Sindio? Aya, tusome pamoja. Do you have your glasses on? Mr. Kennedy Onzere? Like the video, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Sawa, tusome pamoja ndio tujue inasema nini. Haya, ndio hiyo. Onzere, I hope you're watching the screen because this is for you. This is specifically for you. I want you to get what we are talking about. Oh, crap. Hold on. I just messed it up. All right. Let me play it one more time. Let me show it one more time. One more time. I was just missing it. All right. Onzere. Onzere, this is for your benefit, not for my benefit. This is for your benefit. Article 1. Apple. Chapter 1, sovereignty of the people and supremacy of this constitution. Read it again. Sovereignty of the people and supremacy of the constitution. Okay. Here it is. Okay. This is Article 1, which deals with the sovereignty of people. The people are sovereign. Listen to me. Here, Roman number 1, unaangalia. I hope you can see it. I want to read it to you so you understand what I'm saying. All sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya and shall be exercised only in accordance with this constitution. Okay? So, according to the constitution, that's how we're going to exercise this power. 2, the people may, remember that guy? I like that. Remember that guy? The people may exercise their sovereign power either directly or through their democratically elected representatives. This is where our argument ends. Onzere, are you there? This is where our argument does what? It ends there because the constitution already told you. Because you're arguing that our direct exercise of power is elections, public participation, and referendums. And the constitution is not saying that. This is what the constitution is saying. Read number 2 there. The people may exercise their sovereign power either directly, okay, okay, or, unaona number 2 hapo, or through their democratically elected representatives. So which means this indirect power, when this power is exercised indirectly, it's is exercised through the democratically elected representatives. Let's go to 3. 3 say sovereign power under the constitution is delegated to the following state organs, which shall perform their functions in accordance to the constitution. Okay? Parliament and the legislative assemblies in the county governments. Okay? The national executive and the executive structures in the county governments. And C, the judiciary and the independent tribunals. Okay? Now, then 4, it says basically the sovereign power of the people is exercised at the national level and the county level. But number 2 is where it's at. Now, when we are talking about these, number 3 there, where it talks parliament and legislative assemblies, the national executive and the executive structures of the county governments, and the judiciary and independent tribunals, it basically describes the indirect way of how we are delegating this power. We are exercising this power through what 2 numbers say democratically elected representatives. Now, in this present context, the present Kenya, we have a situation where all these legislative assemblies, okay, parliament and the legislative assemblies, the national executive and executive structures in the counties governments, the judiciary and independent tribunals, whether it's in the national level or local level, all that power has been usurped by the executive branch of government. Ruto controls them. He decides what county can get what money. He decides how much money judiciary gets, the judiciary. He bribes the MPs to impeach his deputy because he doesn't like him for whatever reason. He doesn't want to implement the constitution. He violates the human rights. He borrows without our consent. Those are violations that are worth impeachment, but we can't impeach him because he has usurped power from every independent governmental institution and arm of government. So in that case, we have to take back our power and exercise it directly. I'll read 2 more comments, then I'll close it up because of time. Okay? Thank you very much. Kennedy, I hope you learned something today. Good question, though. No need to waste time money with elections if we'll replace Ruto with Matiang'i. I agree. We have been oppressed since 1960, but this time around, it's unbearable. It started with Kenyatta 1, absolutely. Vote Matiang'i, you get double Ruto. Vote Matiang'i, you get a double dose of Rio. I am Nanichekesha hapa. Late, but I've missed that. Irungu Mengia late, but you can always watch and repeat. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and do all the good stuff, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades. Okay. IBC chair is on record saying he didn't apply for the chair, but that of a commissioner. He said he was shocked to see his name gazetted as chair, but was interrupted, so didn't complete the explanation. Woo! I have to find that that clip. But anyway, guys, I have to leave it here. It's been 2 hours. I didn't even plan on going to 2 hours, but it was a nice conversation. Thank you, everyone who has been taking part of this. Ashley M, Shaima, Francis Rungu Mengelet, Gypsy Kona, Principal Kaur, Kennedy Onzere, everybody else, everyone. Nispokusema jina yako, please don't take it personal. I have just to go because it's 2 hours, 6 minutes. Thank you so much. Make sure you Ani pia nakuwa hapo. Sorry, I forgot about you. So like the video, subscribe, share, comment, and do all. Follow me on X or come to my YouTube and na unifuate kwa YouTube. Ama namna gani? All right, guys. Tomorrow ni Monday imeshafika. Again, congratulations to Harambee Stars for winning 1-0 over the Congolese. Tuonane Roshio. Ama wanasema namna gani? Tuonane Roshio. All right. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. I'm out.